Soupy said. Come here, you want to say hi?
Soupy.
Jesus Christ. Soupy.
Oh yeah, looks good.
We're live, baby.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Hey, Sue.
Too loud. Thank you.
You stay with mommy. You're gonna come.
Take me. Here, you want to say hi before you go? You want to say hi? Say hi. Say hi to your friends before you go away. Thank you. Hello, hello. Welcome to the live stream. I know. See? It's you. All right, you're going to go with your dad because you're too loud. Starting off with the sparkling water. It's my favorite flavor.
Smoke in the back.
Mm-mm. We need like direct light on it. Excuse me. I'm just shirtless in this live stream.
Oh, is that bad?
I don't know. It's that kind of live stream. It's working out.
I can't see it.
Yes, you can.
Oh yeah, there you go. Vibes. Bye. Are you coming, Sue?
Yes, she is.
Suki,
On your way.
come here.
The face.
Sue, come on, babe.
Please take the girl. Adios, my puppy girl. Oh, where's the crochet hook? A little jumble jumble today. Hello, hello. Jordan was literally just setting up the incense, trying to get the vibes going. So if you guys are wondering, it's incense. Vibes are immaculate. You can thank Jordan for that because he was the one that told me. It's like we should get like a little setup going. Every time I do live streams, I end up doing it like facing a part of the house that gets really terrible lighting. So it's always super grainy. So this time I was like, we're going to get direct or indirect, but bright lighting today. Hello. Hi from Italy. Thank you. Gulzar. I know I'm wearing the new poncho. This was featured in 2 days ago's video, but so easy. I think this version, because it's kind of like cropped, I think this one only took me, I worked on it over the course of 2 days, and I think I only put in maybe like 4 hours. It's so fast, especially because it's just mesh. But this is a really quick project. By the way, I've opened up application forms for those that are interested in pattern testing the poncho. Testers are allowed to choose, or when you fill out the form, you can choose between, if you want to make a cropped version, you can even make it shorter than this, like a cropped, a mid-length, full length, kind of like that blue one that I have, or for those of you that feel very, very gung-ho, you could do like floor length, like actual maxi dress version too. So a couple different things that you could do. You could also like add the fringe like I did, or not have fringe. So many ways to make this, but I'm really, really, really looking forward to the pattern testing phase of this one, which is crazy because initially I thought, I was like, it's such a beginner pattern that it doesn't really need pattern testers. But then I was like, oh, if we could put together like a really gorgeous lookbook of all of the different versions, I think I'm gonna select more pattern testers than physically actually necessary, just because I think it'd be fun to showcase so many different styles and versions and colorways. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to to the pattern testing phase on this. And I also need a name for this. I kind of have a few different names that I'm playing around with. Like part of me thought it'd be cool to name it cool. Thought it'd be fitting to name it like the all seasons poncho, because I also want to style this once winter comes, like have a turtleneck underneath it and have it the full length. Or again, like in the spring, like this, you could layer this with so many different outfits. So we're trying to think of a few different names. It's because she can hear me talking and she doesn't know to who. Suki wants to hang out with us. Peyton, hi. Hi from Texas. I know smoky vibes. My eyes are getting, it's like I'm at a cookout right now. Oh, yeah, a granny square poncho. That'd be really fun too. I've also, I kind of have been thinking about starting this project that I could work on it over a couple of months. But I kind of want to do like a granny square blanket, but not like a traditional granny stitch, maybe like different kind of squares. But I want to make a blanket for my front porch where I've been sitting a lot, just because I really enjoy being outside. Like instead of being in my house all day long, I can sit on the porch. I need to show you guys. I don't think I've shown it like in a video yet, but we've been kind of like sprucing up the porch area. So we got some patio furniture, and then we also got these solar powered lights, like light bulbs, and we like strung them up. So it's very much vibes on the patio, and I want to be able to sit out there as long as possible, even like hopefully once winter comes, as cold as it will be. I just want to try to be out there as much as possible. So I thought maybe I could convince myself to make like a granny square blanket, or just a blanket that I could use while I'm on the porch in the freezing cold. Asher, good morning from Cali. That's right. What is it, like 11:30ish? How is Cali? I heard it's been hot. Hot. Every now and then I'll check the weather and I'm like, yeah, 103. I'm good. I'm good. I do miss the beaches though, I gotta say. There's nothing like Laguna out here. Katie B, yes, you could definitely make the poncho like thicker. Like this is a DK weight, but you could very much so use a worsted, a chunky, super chunky. I was thinking, I don't want to get into it, but for those that want to have like a thicker poncho for winter, instead of the mesh pattern, you could just do like standard stitches across the whole row, which would make it a little bit thicker, a little bit warmer. But that might be kind of convoluted to like, there's like almost too many options for pattern testers. So I might do like a separate pattern for stitches that are a little bit more blocked in, filled in versus mesh. Oops, we're a little crooked there. Sorry. It was a chilly 103. See, I'm right on the dot. That's crazy. 103. Yeah, and that's not even like as hot as it could get. Like 110. Oh, Asia, thank you for the advice to use a space heater on your balcony. That could work too. We do have, I guess it's considered like a space heater. It's like a tower. We bought it this last winter because it was so cold. I'm talking 9 degrees Fahrenheit. It was so cold. Anyways, I could use that on the porch. But I also don't know how like energy efficient or not efficient they are, which is why I'm like, okay, at the very minimum, I'm going to need a blanket. I'll probably have the heater as well. So yeah, we're 9 minutes in and I've just been like, blah, 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 blah. But hello, I'm going to do a little bit of crochet. Just a little bit. You guys know me trying to live stream, talk, and crochet. Hello. I'm using some new colors. This is actually the Soot Sprite colorway from my upcoming Studio Ghibli collection, the Spirited Away collection. I think this is my favorite colorway just because of how crazy it looks. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to like show this off a little bit. What I'm working on right now, you guys probably like, what the hell is this? So I'm kind of working on, best way to put it is like a sleeveless vest, very boxy, pretty simple, no sleeves. But the highlight that I'm trying to focus on is I want to crochet a hoodie onto this. I haven't really played around with hoodies hardly ever. I have crocheted one hoodie project. I think I have a tutorial for it. It's still up. It's almost 5 years old. But ever since then, I haven't really tried to mess with hoodies too much. And for some reason, when I was dyeing up this specific yarn, like on the boucle, for some reason, the idea of a hoodie, like a flowy, loose, almost like baggy hoodie kind of came to mind. So all I'm really working on right now is the body portion. Again, this is just going to be like very, very simple, very basic. I just want to get it up to like the neck, leave a little bit of a neck opening, and then I want to focus on the hoodie. So what I'm doing right now, I'm working, or I was working in the round. Initially, I kind of thought about doing like a raglan style. This might not be the best project to work on while I'm trying to talk because I'm kind of trying to do some math. So let's see how much I actually get done. But what was I trying to say? I have 2 full hanks of the boucle, and because I'm trying to focus on the hoodie part, I kind of have been skipping over a lot of the body. So depending on how much yarn I have left over after the hoodie, I'll go back and start like adding on more rows to the body. But I just kind of made some foundation double crochets in the round. And then once I'm just kind of, again, starting at like the armpit area. I already split for sleeves, so I'm working on the front panel right now. Gonna do like a little bit of a neck decreases, if you will. And then I'll do the back panel, the hoodie. And then with whatever yarn is left on, I'm gonna come back and then extend the length of the body. So that's kind of what I got going on right now. I know that was a mouthful. I did pull the colors from the collection so I could like show them off here for those that are interested. But I think I'm literally getting like smoked out right now. I feel like I'm at the campfire. You know how you get like the worst spot at the bonfire and you're sitting where all the smoke is blowing and you like can't breathe? That's me right now. So this colorway, this is based off of the Soot Sprites, more specifically when Kamaji is like feeding the Soot Sprites. They're like little pastel candies after they've done like their hard labor for the day. So obviously a ton of black for the soots, for the sprites, and then just a ton of, which is technically speckling. I speckled all of these different colors. And then we have the black. So all the colors, like the little candies, the little treats that they get. The minute I started crocheting with this, I was like, yep, this is the one. But this is on the boucle base that I have. So it's very loopy, very textured. Yeah, like I said, I don't really use this too much for like my own personal projects. Sorry, my hands are hideous, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys the texture of the boucle. And this is like a DK weight. So yeah, just working upwards right now. Like I said, I don't know how much I can actually get done on this because I'm trying to do some math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have to try this on again. 2. Is this Will this be inappropriate? We need to reassess the project. So yeah, this is where I'm at right now. We got split for sleeves right there. And I will be adding a back panel to this, but this is where I'm at. So I need a little bit more. I think what I'm also trying to do is leave, I don't know if it'll do anything, but I wanted to leave like a little bit of a notch, just like a little bit at the base of my neck. So I still have a couple more rows to add on. But it's pretty loose, surprisingly. And ideally, I would like it to be a little bit longer when we're done with it. So when we get there, Pop this off. Cover up, I feel exposed. Now I need you guys to tell me what your current crochet knitting plans are, or if you guys are already prepping for fall/winter. What is on everybody's hook right now? Or next up to make? Hello, hello. Hi, Brenda. Thank you, Kit Kat. I will take that. It does look pretty good so far. It's really simple. I think we're not really going to see the vision until I connect at the shoulders. And then it'll actually look like a piece. But right now it just kind of looks like string. Oh, Katie. Haha, I love the winky. Now I know which Katie I'm talking to. The Katie V. Okay, so your sorbet, you would say, is pretty pale, right? It's pretty pastel. Just kind of based off the photo that you sent me. I just want to try to color match it as closely as possible. Okay, pretty pastel. We're going to run with that. Still, I was going to say, I haven't really given you guys or talked much about the health stuff. But for what it's worth, I can give you guys like a quick little update. For the most part, I've just kind of been like managing with all of my like GI pain. And overall, it's been severely improved. How did I say severely? It's been much improved, drastically improved. There was, I'd say, not one thing in specific that helped or like turned it around. I think it's just been a really big like diet change overall, cleaner eating. I still don't really I have like coffee every day, but it's like my mushroom coffee. So there's like a lot less caffeine. It's healthier, if you will, a little bit cleaner than like actual like espresso that I was making. I will say I had my second latte a couple of weeks ago. And it was so good. It was so good. I miss like real coffee. It was delicious. You should have seen the look on my face. We're not back there yet. I think just occasionally I can have it. But yeah. And I had my endoscopy in June or July. Can anybody guess what the result of the endoscopy was? I think we already know. It was like what I was fearing, but it's the most likely outcome. Went through all of that shit. Pain for months, discomfort for months. Do the endoscopy. And then they said, oh yeah, we didn't find anything. I was coming to from the anesthesia, so I was like all loopy still. But I asked them, for photos. I was like, when you guys are in there, I was like, am I allowed to have like photos after? Like, if we're going through all of this, I want to see what my insides look like. It looks crazy. I don't know if you guys have ever Googled like endoscopy photos procedure. The inside of the stomach be looking crazy. But yeah, they showed me a bunch of photos after, and they were like, yeah, initial findings are that everything looks normal and we don't see anything and like out of the norm. And have a good day. I was like, cool, thanks. So once I pretty much heard that, I was like, well, if they're not, the positive thing is that they're not finding anything crazy, like anything terrible. So I guess there was some good takeaway from that. But yeah, it's really just kind of been cleaner eating, basic. I eat a lot of basic food, but it sits well in my stomach. So I just do what I can. I know, Katie. I was like, for real? I thought for sure, maybe not for sure, but I had hopes that they were going to like see something, maybe like the remnants of something that is like healing or something, or on the process of healing. And they're like, no, we don't see anything. Cool, cool, cool. So it's probably just stress and food compounded. But yeah, I think, I don't know a physical like diagnosis that there was one that they gave me, but it was a while back. It was dyspepsia. But I think other than that, it's just like IBS or GERD. So yeah. So Alexis, for whatever reason, my GI specialist didn't want to give me or did not think a colonoscopy was necessary. I kind of thought that if I was going to go under and they're going to do, what was this one called? Well, it's an endoscopy. They're both endoscopies, but down the gastro, I figured that they would do the other way too. And he was like, it doesn't sound like the symptoms that you have. He doesn't think that it's lower. So I think for now we're not going to do a colonoscopy. But I think if my symptoms were to come back more severe or something, then yeah. Liane, I have already filmed the Poncho tutorial. I filmed steps literally all in the same tutorial for this poncho and then also for the blue one. So it'll kind of be like a twofer. They're both made relatively similar, very, very similar, just with different like stitch counts at the beginning. So yeah, there will be a tutorial to accompany the pattern just because I kind of like doing that. I like having the visual with the instruction, the written instruction. Yes. What are my favorite knitting needles brand? That's a good question. So there's a couple. I will say I don't knit too often. Occasionally, like here and there, I will. So, take what I have to say with a grain of salt. But from what I have used so far, I do have a few favorites. I don't remember the line. I'll have to pull it out. Maybe I can like add it in the comments after the live stream. But Leica, I have this set of Leica needles. It comes like in a yellow or like a yellow gold case. I really like the Leica needles. They're interchangeable. So after the live stream, I will go in my bins and find out what they're called specifically. And then I have this set from Hobie knitting needles that I love. I think they were my favorite, and I don't know where they are. I've been looking for them for, I won't lie, a couple of months now, and I still haven't found them. What is the name of them? I'll also have to leave it down below. But the case, it's like a teal blue indigo case, and then there's like light blue swirls on it. But if you go onto Hobie's website as well and you search like their knitting needles, I'm sure you'll see this set. But those are kind of like the two that I'll gravitate towards, that I kind of like bounce between. It's funny because I don't remember either of the names. But Leica and Hobie, I like the Hobie knitting needles too. And they're both interchangeable sets. But I am not an avid knitter, so take that as you will. Your doctor said that chronic inflammation is super common with the American diet and it creates so many issues in your body. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I just, from like the research I've done and like what the doctor was telling me, there's just a lot of additives and whatnot in the American diet and like food. And even if you think you're eating clean, a lot of times you're probably not. You just don't know it. And it just kind of compounds over time. There's like certain things I have cut back on. Like the biggest one I have to say is the caffeine intake. I've also heard a lot of things about like actual coffee and like coffee grounds and there being maybe not additives, but like not healthy stuff in coffee grounds. So maybe that has contributed. Am I saying that right? To the stomach feeling better. Overall, it is a lot better. Every now and then I'll have like a little bit of discomfort depending on what I eat. I still don't eat anything too crazy, but like without fail, every day, at least one. And this will always, like immediately, if I have like stomach upset, whatever, it's like an immediate fix. And then you guys probably know this about me, but I'm not a hot drink person, specifically not a hot tea person. But ever since the stomach stuff, I had to. So most nights as well, like before bed, I'll have a hot tea, and that will help as well to like burp me like a baby. Yeah, I'd be burping a lot now, like all day long, all the time. It's just kind of like the norm. All right, this is what I'm saying. We're not crocheting, but since I can't really get too much work done, I brought out the collection in case you guys wanted to see the rest of the Spirited Away collection. So we'll just kind of show them off a little bit. I think I'm going to start posting some of the photos today as well on Instagram. If you guys don't know, I now have a separate fiber account for the hand-dyed yarn. I used to post it on my main, and occasionally I will still, but I felt like it just kind of needed its own space, or else my whole page just becomes yarn, and we need a space specifically for the yarn. Oh, Katie, thanks for coming before your work meeting. Hope to see you soon. You'll get your order soon as well. Have a good day. You're welcome, Lindsley. You're welcome for the help. So far, I gotta say, my favorite colorway is Soot Sprites. This is dyed up on, this is probably worsted. This is worsted weight, 100% superwash. But this is Soot Sprites. Look at this. So you can see all of that pink, teal, sapphire blue speckling. Oh my goodness. There's like some bright greens, yellows, gold. And then these big swirls of black. I should have brought the swatches that I made out here. They're in my office. But I have to say, this colorway, when it's knit up, is something else. I was getting so giddy when I was making the swatches because like each row that I added on, I was like, it's getting better, it's getting better, it's getting better. So yeah, I think this has to be my favorite just because of all of the different color there. So this is Soot Sprites. I can literally just hear them like, making their little sounds as they're enjoying their candies. So yeah, this one's on the worsted weight. And as I showed you guys, it looks drastically, maybe not drastically, but somewhat different because this is on the boucle base. But this is what it looks like crocheted with some doubles. Very, very fluffy and textured and bouncy. Pretty squish. Pretty squish. Here's what that looks like. This is kind of like, I don't know if I'll have time right now, but I think like deeper into winter, it would be really fun to knit like a sleeveless vest with the soot sprites. So I can like layer it, or even just do like a whole sweater. But I'm really digging the deep black with the bright pastel colors. In my opinion, I should have brought out the swatches. I know the thumbnail for this video was the swatches. I don't know if there's a way you guys could like pull it up. But I would have to say, I mean, I'm a crocheter, so I like how it looks crocheted. I think it's really beautiful. But like I said, on the knit swatch, this color was otherworldly. And if you guys want to see actually a photo of the knit swatch, because I can't pull it up right now, if you guys go onto my Instagram, either Erin_Reiko or Reiko Fibers, the first photo that I kind of like teased and posted, like collab photo, was a swatch photo. And you can see the knit soot sprites on that colorway. Maybe I could just shove it in your face for those that are not going to do it. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. But can you guys see that knitted? Ooh. Oh. Oh. So good. So good. Okay. Wow, I'm like spoiling all the like names and inspo here because I haven't even like posted it yet on Instagram. But I guess that's why that's why we're here. Okay, any guesses? This is like, before I say it, it's like a really deep, rich, like silverish, plummy purple, like aubergine. Oof, oof. This one, I was actually in awe when I was dyeing this because I was aiming for a very deep and saturated color, but I wanted it to have like not so much a sheen or like a shine, but like this undertone of like silver-ish, because I didn't want it to be like warm toned. No, Asher, no. I know it kind of, when the light hits it funny, it almost looks black. But this is actually Kamaji. This is Kamaji, dude. I'm dying. But yeah, he wears like, it's like a purpley black, almost looks like a gown. You can't really tell because he's an interesting spirit figure, if you will. But yeah, this is Kamaji. Ugh. Ooh, this one is dyed on, I think this is nylon sock. Yeah, sock weight. But the sock really takes like the punchy color, like it just deepens it. I don't know what it is about nylon in like mixed with superwash, but whenever there's a little bit of nylon in the fiber, it takes it so much more striking. Yeah, I have to like hold it up just because from far it almost does look black, but it's like purpley. You can kind of see it there, like purpley, deep, very deep. So yeah, we have a solid color. We're just gonna run through these. I do have a couple favorites. Okay, obviously, I think any guesses? And Asher, you gotta get this one. This one is dyed on, this feels like 100% superwash fingering. So not sock, but fingering. This is so fluffy too. Yes, thank you, Asher. My God, we got this one. This is Haku. I'm still, part of me kind of wanted to name it Kohaku. But I don't know, I think Haku is just a little bit more fitting. Yes. So I'm going to set these down. I need to get a little closer. Sat on Kamaji. So there's like a little bit of like pops of like white creamy in there, but really deep teal. And then we've got like some spearmint green in here. I hope the light is kind of catching it right. But we've got these like more vibrant sections, as well as like these really deep saturated parts. And then I really love these tiny splashes of like a cool toned pink. Yeah, it's like a blue toned pink in there. We have a couple of those swirls right there. Oh yeah, you can see right here like that spearmint green color. Ooh. Check it. Oh my goodness. Oh, good. I can probably show you guys the. So on the same photo, you can see. I'm like reversed here. You can see right here. That is Haku knitted. They are. I can also go deeper into my actual archives here. I did take a couple other photos of swatches, so let's see. My apologies. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm going to spoil all the other ones, but you can see I have the crochet and the knit side by side. Oh. Hi, Sierra. Yes, Brenda, the Haku in the poncho. Oh. Actually, that'd be, I might want to do one of the other colorways in the poncho, but that'd be so fire. Yes, the poncho tutorial won't be up for at least a few weeks because I'm going to coordinate it with when the pattern testing finishes and everything. So it'll be a little bit, but it'll be out just in time for fall. And like I said, the poncho, the blue one obviously did take me a little bit longer, but even then it wasn't that long of a project. I think time-wise for the blue one, I probably put in I'd say probably like 10 hours, 10 hours of actual like crochet time. Maybe 12. No, that's too much. I should have timed myself. But I'd say I picked up the poncho 4 or 5 different times. And I probably crocheted for like 2 to 3 hours each time. Leandra, hello, welcome to the live stream. Oh, you're working on the button band right now. I need to take some updated photos still on the sideways cardi. That's kind of my plan for this weekend. And also still editing the pattern. It's really close though. I think the only thing wouldn't say struggling with, but I'm like battling myself with in my own head is just how wordy the pattern is. I'm trying to avoid excess like fluff. I'm still getting smoked out by the incense. Those that are new here, we have We have an incense burning in the corner. So if you wonder what is going on, Layan, you are welcome. Sierra, I'm doing good. I'm doing a lot better than a couple months ago, I'll tell you that. I think also it's been a mixture of the warm weather. I think my whole like stomach thing also, I think there was a few different factors, but I think part of it was like my body was stressed out from the long winter. No joke, the seasonal depression was bad. And it hit me, the whole stomach stuff hit right as spring started to come. And I think that was just like my body's breaking point. I think it was just too much. It was too much. So now that it's been like warm weather and I'm outside, a little bit more active, my body's like all happy again. Okay. For those that are new here, we're kind of just going through all of the Spirited Away collection. Quick little rundown. The first colorway that I was showing off was Soot Sprites. This is on worsted, superwash worsted, but these are like the little Soot Sprites, and they're pastel candies. And then I was showing off this really deep, ooh, see the colors hitting right there. This really deep aubergine, silver toned purple. I would like to call this and the other one a solid, but just to like be safe, I like to label it a semi-solid just because, at least the way that I dye yarn, it's never 100% perfect. Sometimes not. So I'd say this is it's a solid, but I'm gonna call it a semi-solid. And then we just showed off the beautiful Haku on fingering, 100% superwash fingering, deep teal, like phthalo. This looks like phthalo green. It's so deep. This is what it looks like next to my skin tone. And then we have these little splashes and like these little hints of like cool toned pink, blushy pink, if you will. Now for the last three. Ashura, if you're still here, I'm gonna give you one last, I'm gonna give you a try. Any guesses? Any guesses on this colorway? Alexis, I have heard semi-solid colors also called tonal. Yeah, I think tonal is better than like semi-solid. Because with like the deeper color, it looks solid, but like with other shades that I dye, you can see like hues, like lighter hues and then deeper hues as well. Do we have any guesses on the inspiration for this colorway? This one is unique, and I gotta say it took me a couple of tries to get this. The first attempt at trying to get this inspired color was a mess. It was not cute, at least for me. I don't think it was cute. I was kind of disappointed. And then even the second time I was like, okay, we're getting closer, but it doesn't look, it was like too muddy. And then finally we got it together. Oh, that is a good guess. This is not Chihiro. This is not. So I kind of used, I'd say like two different scenes from the film and like cohesiveness blended it together. But this, this is actually No Face. I'd say primarily the colors in this No Face are pulled from when No Face is knitting with Zeniba. Obviously you have black for No Face, but then there's also like the warm orangey tan color. I think of the yarn that they're using. Yeah. But then there's also, I have these splashes of like sky. Oh, it looks so good. Of like sky blue. The other part of No Face that I kind of blended this with or pulled from is just when he's standing, I think it's early on in the film, maybe midway through, but he's like standing on the bridge. I also really like, it's kind of probably not portraying well, but I got the sky blue to blend with like some silvery gray. And it's kind of hard to describe, but normally when I'm speckling, I like to be very, very like specific with it. Like I'll usually only use like 2 fingers and then I'll like speckle like this. So you get very like specific pinpoints of the speckling. But for No Face, I kind of, because he's kind of like a wild card. I decided to actually like use all of my hands. So I would like pick up the powder like this, and then I was kind of like throwing it into the pan instead of like speckling it like tiny speckles. I wanted it to be very chunky and like thick, almost like blobs of color. But yeah, so I don't know if that's quite portrayed here, but this is definitely a different style of speckling than what I traditionally do. You can see it's a lot like a chunkier speckle. Oof. And I just really love how like the fawny brown blends with the bright red. Thank you, Brenda, for affirming me. Yeah, this was an interesting one because, like I said, I kind of pulled from 2 different, I guess, images in my head of No Face. Just because when I originally was just doing one, it did not come out how I wanted it to. Hello to the new people. Oh, Asher, the boathouse. Yeah, they knit and they do knit like for a couple seconds when they're at Zaniba's. But so yeah, that's one of the scenes that I pulled from for him. I was gonna say, oh, the bathhouse. I almost dyed up a colorway for the bathhouse. I had like all my color cards pulled and everything, but I also didn't want the collection to get too large. I kind of just wanted to give my attention to 6 colorways, but I almost did a colorway for the bathhouse, which means I might have to save it for a future, I don't want to say like collection, but I might just do like a random drop with other scenes from Spirited Away. Because I love the part where there's like little, I don't even know what they are, but they're like they look like the little yellow ducks when they're like all in the one tub, if you will. I really wanted to dye up a colorway for the bathhouse. But yeah, this one is the No Face. We shall see. Alexis, yes, when he's knitting with the little hamster. What is his name? We're gonna rewatch the movie again tonight. Jordan told me earlier. I was in my feels earlier, and he was like, "Do we need to watch Spirited Away?" And I was like, "Yes, we do." Thank you, Brenda. I know, I'm going to try to show you guys right now. So this, I'll do it like this. This is what No Face looks like knit. I really like it knit. And I like that the black is just here and there. You can really see too the fawny brown, how it blends so well with the red. Let me try to show this again. So that's the no face knitted. And then no face crocheted. Yes. I mean, I like all parts about it, but I also really like that bright like sky blue and how it blends with the gray. I'm proud of this just because it took me so many tries. You guys probably don't know that, but sometimes when I have an idea for a colorway, sometimes, not always, I'm able to execute it how I envision it in the pan the first time that I dye it, or sometimes it's not how I envisioned it, but I end up with a colorway that I really like the first time that I dye it. Every now and then, I'll have this vision of a colorway and I'll go into the dye pan and it just, it starts off okay and then it gets like worse and worse and worse. And this was a colorway that was pretty challenging for me. So that's why I'm so in love with it, because I'm proud of myself. But yeah, that's no face crocheted. I think this color in a shawl, maybe kind of like lacy. I think a shawl, this color might be good too for like winter, fall, winter. So yes. And then we have the last two. Okay. I'm just going to talk about this one briefly and then we'll end on the variegated. This was also a color that I initially was not planning on dyeing. And then I, like, part ways through the dyeing process, I was like, I have to add this color in. I had a very specific color in mind, but this is kind of I will be surprised if any of you gets it on the first go, just because this is like a very specific scene, inspiration, color. So I will hold it up first. The best way I could describe this color is kind of coppery, but it's got like an undertone of green. It's kind of murky. Overall, it's like a brown, I would say, bronzy brown, but an undertone of like a mossy green. It's very interesting, the hue. I don't know how else to describe it, but this from afar it just looks like a deep brown, but the undertones in this kind of, I'm currently planning a project with this, and then I want to mix it with another color. Stop. Okay, I underestimated your skills. Yeah, this is the stink spirit. That's crazy. Okay, I take it back. Some of you are deeper fans than I am. Yeah, this is the stink spirit, which is funny because he's also technically like a river spirit. But when he comes to the bathhouse, they all assume he's the stink spirit. Yeah, this was also a colorway that the first attempt at dyeing it looked good in the pan, and then as it was drying, it changes color just because like the water makes it look deeper. Yeah, this was another colorway that challenged me, and I ended up not, the colorway that I ended up with at first was not fitting to the stink spirit. So I went back to the dye pan and we did this one. But I just love how it's very fall. Okay, it's like tobacco brown. It's really deep, browny, bronzy. There's like that hint of like, I want to call it like a stinky green. Like it looks like a stinky, muddy green. But yeah, stink spirit. That's so cool. And I love how I don't want to say rewards, but he like gifts Chihiro that like little snack, if you will, for like helping him. It's so sweet. It's almost like a parental moment, but yeah, I love that scene a lot. I also like how like everybody else doesn't want to deal with the stink spirit. They just like hand it off to Chihiro. Like you do the dirty work, and then she actually ends up being a boss ass bitch and handling it. So thank you, Brenda. I appreciate it. Dang you, yeah. High five to freaking all of you who are guessing this. I did not think. I thought this was kind of like a random moment, but so I don't know if you guys. I haven't posted it too much on Instagram. I'm filming a video for it right now, and it's like 85% done. The top is like almost done, but I'm working on. Let's see if I can show you guys. I want to make another project with this colorway. So I posted it on my stories like a week ago. But this is the top that I've been working on, the top that I'm like referencing. So there's like a ribbed belly band. And then I'm kind of currently calling it like slouchy top because it's kind of like a trend that I've been seeing like big stores selling it. Like I've seen some tops on Princess Polly. I've seen ads for like PacSun. I like screenshot them all because it's like what inspired me. But it's like fitted belly band, but then the top part is a little bit looser, a little bit more like flowy, and then you guys know me and my off shoulder. I want to be able to like wear it normal, but then also like pull it off. Let me try to see if I can show you guys like inspo for it. Screenshots. Oh, okay. So kind of like this, but not this. So there's like that tight belly band, and then the top part is like a little bit slouchier. A better would be like this. So again, we got that tight belly band, and then it's like a little bit looser fitting. So I'm working on like that top right now, but then I thought, wait, I kind of want to make another version with long sleeves because I'm off the deep end right now. Summer has been doing me a number. I kind of want to write a pattern as well for like that slouchy top. So I wanted to make a long sleeve version. All of that to say, I want to use Stink Spirit, and I want to stripe, I think, this with, initially I'm kind of thinking like a denim blue. I'm going to have to dye up the colorway. Yes, very like 2000 vibes, exactly. I know, I've been seeing a lot of ads, like I can't even tell you the other brands that I've been seeing the ads for, but so many like actual like stores have been trying to like sell these style of tops, and I really like them. I think it's just the off shoulder aspect for me that grabs me. But so far my first attempt at making the top is going so well. I've had to frog it several times, but I love it so much. So I want to use this color specifically for like the belly band, solid, and then I want to stripe this color with kind of like a denim blue, maybe like a medium tone blue. But I thought this in a blue would look so good, I hope. But yeah, I'm saving this colorway for a specific project as well. So this is Stink Spirit. Stinky. And then at this point, I should have full faith that you guys are going to guess this. But the last colorway, she's variegated. She's extra as hell. She's gorgeous. Run the guesses now, chat. The last and final colorway. This would also, I think, look really good in a poncho. This poncho. especially like for the tassels. The variegated bits on the tassels are going to look so good. It does have to do with Chihiro. I mean, the whole movie does, but yeah, initially, I'm sure a lot of you are probably thinking like, well, Chihiro's shirt. Chihiro's known for like that bright pink color. I thought about doing a solid pink color for the collection, but part of me almost thought that that was like, I don't want to say the easy way out, but it would be like the obvious guess. Whereas Chihiro is a lot more of a complex character who goes through a lot of growth. Yes, Brenda. So I was like, she needs more than just solid. She's not a 2D character. She needs something with depth. Oh, Winx, a Winx reference. Yes, this is when she's going through the flowers. I believe she's on the way. See, I need to watch the movie again. When she's on the way to the pig pens, right, with Haku. But it's a really interesting scene, like the way that they animated it. It almost makes you feel like you are going through. I don't know, it's almost like just the way that they filmed the flowers like going by, it feels very realistic. Thank you guys. So yeah, this is when she's going through all of the flowers. It's almost too like when it's kind of like a wormhole in a sense, because she's like in a daze. She can't believe like what's happening to her, but she's like coming to terms that she's like in a different, I don't want to say dimension, but she's like in a different realm. Yeah, it is very aesthetically pleasing. So this is an interesting dye as well. So usually the way that a lot of times when I'm dyeing up colors, it's like a wavy pour. Like I like to pour it everywhere and then let the colors blend. This one I actually did levels. So I would dye like the top third one shade of pink, and then the middle third a different shade, and then a deeper shade. And then I flip it and do the same with the greens, the browns and the greens on the back side. But yeah, it was another dye process that was very different from my norm. I think that's also why it came out so gorgeous. But let's give you guys a close-up. So we obviously have the very bright magenta. Then we also have like some softer, like Valentine's blushy pink in there. And then where is it? It's kind of like down here. You can kind of see, but we've got like some almost deep plummier purple. It kind of happened when the magenta was mixing with the deepest green that I added. It almost kind of created like this really deep aubergine purple. And then you can see here the speckles are more traditional, kind of what I was talking about earlier, where the speckles strike like very pinpoint, very, very specific. You guys see how that's like me giving you guys a dye lesson? Speaking of which, something I might want to film in the future. I'm just starting to play around with the idea of it, but yeah, I kind of want to show you guys the difference in speckling. So you see how it's much more like pinpoint versus no face is much more like erratic. Isn't that interesting? The way that it's speckled is almost reflective as well of the characters. But yeah, this is the garden scene. Oh, I need to show you guys the swatches. Oh no. You guys, my camera roll has been getting out of hand recently. Bad. Like I need to clean it up a little bit. Here we are. Okay. So this is Chihiro's adventure through the flower bushes, knit. Look at that knit. Look at that. Ooh. So dimensional. There's so many different layers in that. I love that. And then Chihiro's garden scene, crocheted. This one, if you guys couldn't tell, the pink and the green. And then below it, you guys can see like the stink spirit. Let the camera kind of focus for a second. But it's like bronzy, browny. Oh, looks kind of dark here. And then knit. Ooh, looks so good. See, and you can kind of see now in the knit version how it's more tonal instead of solid. But I love that. I like that it doesn't just lay completely flat. Oh, here is another shot of the Soot Sprites crocheted with single crochet. I know it's kind of hard to see on the boucle, but that's the crochet swatch. So yeah, that's the current collection. Thanks for hanging out while I talk about it. Been holding that in for a minute. Look at that, we did 0 crocheting. Which means we're gonna have to do more live streams so I can actually crochet with you guys. I think this one has just been like built up because at the moment right now I'm working on dropping the collection. I don't have a specific set date. I won't lie, I thought by now I would have most of the colors posted on Instagram, and I have none. But I think I'm going to start with No Face today, and hopefully in a week, maybe a week and a half, we'll open up the pre-orders for it. Alexis, I gotta say, Soot Sprites is my favorite too, for the moment. Like, I'm kind of in between Stink Spirit for the solid. Yes, there will be mini sets available. I think right now it's smaller quantities, but I think I have, for mini sets, I have 5 sock, 5 sport, and some DK. So there are mini sets again. I think the last time for the late bloomer collection, is that a pattern? Oh, that's so dope. Somebody just bought a pattern. Thank you. Yeah, for the late bloomer collection, I did mini sets for sock, sport, and DK. I think this time I tried to add on a few more. So I should have like 5, 5, and 5. But then there will also be individual hanks for each of the colors. And we have the new base. I don't know if you guys know this, but I added a new base to the website last month as well. So there's bamboo now. The bamboo sock is my current favorite base. It has been for a couple months and it's still holding top tier. The bamboo feels so creamy. It just has a little bit more drape, just a little bit more drape than the sock or even the fingering. Do we have any favorites? Yes, Asher. Oh, that's crazy that you say that. Because when I was hanging this up, I said the same thing to Jordan. I was like, it's kind of close to Agni Kai, which was also a challenge to dye. I think just having opposing colors, opposing in the sense of like, okay, red and blue. The tricky part is to not have them blend together. We don't want to end up with purple, you know? It can very quickly become muddy in a heartbeat. Yeah, I said the same thing. It reminds me of Agni Kai, but it's funny that you say springtime. Yeah, Agni Kai had a little bit more That one blended for sure more together. That one's more like orangey as well. And the red is like a little bit brighter, whereas this red is a little bit more deeper. Like there's some brighter sections of red too, but oh, it's crazy that you say that. I feel so affirmed. I feel seen. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I know it's been a long time since the lives, but we're gonna try to ease back into it. I love doing my lives. I love having company, and hopefully, even if you guys are just at work or you're sitting down crocheting, hanging out, it feels comforting to have a friend to sit with you while you craft. Today's a really nice day out. I gotta say, and I want to bite my tongue as I say it, I can feel fall coming. I can feel it. For the most part, it's pretty comfortable during the day, but there have been a couple chilly days recently, and it makes me fearful of summer going away. The thing is, I love fall. I love fall. But then right after fall is winter. And it just signifies that the warm months are behind us. And I think my seasonal depression is shaking in her boots. She's scared. She's not ready. So I've been trying to keep my mind busy with the dyeing, the patterns. I think that's what's going on right now. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are digging the poncho. I keep messing this up. I had been wearing specifically this poncho so much. This is probably like my most worn project this whole year. And this one was made with the hoodie cotton silk, which I'm a huge fan of. Ooh. This was fun too, because this one I did like chunkier tassels, which I think I'm more a fan of. This is just easier to style too, because I'll be honest, that blue poncho is pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. So I'm not just gonna like pop it on and like leave the house. Like if I'm wearing the blue poncho, it's a whole fit. It's a moment. Whereas this is literally just like, okay, I don't want to just be in a tank top. I want some coverage. So we got the poncho. But I'm probably gonna make a couple more ponchos relatively soon. I'm thinking about making one for my soon-to-be mother-in-law. And then I also have some other Hobie gradient yarn that I also purchased to make a poncho out of. And you guys are gonna think I'm crazy because you guys know me, but it's pink. It's a gradient yarn that goes from like a light baby pink to a really deep chocolatey, I don't want to say red, but like a chocolate color. Lisa, yes, soon to be. Yeah, the ponchos are so easy. Like, especially something like this, like once you get started on the initial row, this is one of those projects where you don't have to count, you don't have to do math. As long as you like see your increases, kind of like working on a raglan sweater, whatever. This is like a no-brainer project. Like you don't have to count, you don't really have to actively think about all your stitches because it's just the mesh, 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 mesh. Okay, increase. Mesh, 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 mesh. Increase. So this is one of those like perfect relaxing projects. And I'm gonna make a couple more. I also have this Hobie cotton silk in their like wine red colorway. It's kind of like a deep, deep red. But I thought I'd also make like another kind of like crop version, maybe a little bit longer than this one, but I'm a fan of this yarn as well. Obsessed. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. Alexis says, I've been ready for fall since July. I put my Halloween decorations out last week. The thing is, I like spooky season. I love it. I love it. I think the only reason I'm just not looking forward to it getting colder is that I can't be outside as much as I have been. Brenda, off topic, but you have such a chill, relaxed vibe, and I'm here for it. I appreciate that. I'm trying to set the tone, trying to set the vibe. Look at how many we've lit. They smell really good, but she's out. It stopped burning. I'm glad that we could all just like hang out and chill. We're already at the hour 15 mark. I know I need to get like a slightly better setup. I don't know if my TV is really the vibe, but the plant, guys, the plant has taken off. The plant also loves summer. Do we see this? Do we see how huge this thing is? Like it's so out of control that like we can't even, like we tie it up. It's just crazy right now. Ooh. So yeah, this is the current setup. I kind of like it over here. I think so far from the few live streams that I've done since we moved here, the lighting has been the best right here. Can we all agree? Which one was I burning today? Ooh. I don't remember. We have three. We have like a 3-pack that we rotate between. This one kind of smells like fresh linen. So it's my final answer. It's like fresh, clean linen. But we got it on eBay. It's like a 20-pack for each, I almost said flavor, but each scent. So we rotate between 3 different incense. Ooh. Asher, what are you working on right now? What work are you getting done? Are you still working on that sweater, by the way? The Saint Malo pullover? Did I remember that correctly? Everybody, before we close out this live stream, the 9 people that are still here, you guys should go check out Asher's Instagram page. Asher's working on this extremely intricate, may I say, color work sweater using some of the Reco Fibers yarns, and then also mixed with a few other brands. But this is one of the most intricate crochet sweaters I've ever seen. Specifically, the colors that Asher is rotating between look so good. So Asher, you should like drop your IG so people can peep. You should put it up on your stories right now so people can see the sweater that I'm talking about. Crazy. Saint Malo pullover. Yeah, Saint Malo. You're almost done with the body? Wait, you do coding? How did I not know this? You had to code a website and you got it done? Wait, you can code while you like listen to me? My mind would have to be like completely focused. That's crazy. Yes, that's right. Tilted stitch, you guys. Why do I say this? I should just pull it up, but also go check out Tilted Stitch. Do you happen to have an actual post? Oh, that's pretty. This is. Okay. Tilted Stitch. No. Okay, wait. I can go into my archive though. Before we go, we have to show off Asher's pullover. Oh, okay, I found it. It's gonna go away though. Okay, everybody, before we leave, this is the pullover that Asher is working on right now. And it's stunning. Do we see this? This is crazy. Crazy. I think having the black, I like how you chose this. So it's kind of hard to see, but the variegated colorway behind the black is the Reiko Fibers Astral Projection. But I like that you chose to have the squares as black instead of the background being black and then astral as the squares. It almost makes it like an optical illusion for me. Like it looks so mosaic-y. This is phenomenal work, by the way. Saint Malo Pullover by Sarah Dudek Stitches. Sarah Dudek Stitches. If you guys want to go check that out. Oh, son of a gun. Boom, boom, like that. So yeah. Claps and snaps for Asher. Crazy work. We had to share that. We had to end on an actual whip because I didn't do shit with my whip on this live stream. Yeah, Gorgina is an understatement. Asher, we just affirm each other back and forth. That's so funny. You are seen. Yeah, it was a good choice to have the black as those squares by far. It was very trippy. Oh, we're back to 20 people. Hello. All right, live stream. Chat, thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Let's try to meet here again. Do we like weekday live streams or are we weekend people? Let me know. Let me know. You can also think about it and then leave a comment on the video and I'll come back and check. Oh, Asher. Asher giving me the snaps back. I really appreciate that, for real. It's so interesting to call it like consistent. I definitely have the style, so I guess it makes sense that it would stay consistent. But I do know that being like an issue with just hand-dyed yarn in general, whenever you have like even yarn from the same dye lot, when it's variegated, they oftentimes recommend that you alternate skeins every couple of rows to blend it. But I feel so affirmed that you don't have to blend, like it's just working up. And then even like shifting between the skeins, it looks so good. See, it helped too that you ordered, like I made everything from the same dye lot. Thank God. Okay, we're gonna call it chat. Hopefully we'll see you next Wednesday, next Thursday. Mark your calendars. Hopefully, I don't know if you guys saw this, but this time, I added the live stream a day early, which is something that I very rarely do. So I will try to just have it as like an upcoming video like I did for this one. And then you guys can see it ahead of time and like save time for the live stream instead of what I have done in the past, which is very inconsistent, which is just like spur of the moment, like live stream. But yeah, I'll try to just like add it up beforehand so you can see when I'll be on. And by the next live stream, I will probably have a different project. But yeah, if you guys want a pattern test, the Google forms are open. go play. I also have a couple other pattern tests that I'm about to open up as well. I've been on a roll. So, sleep your eyes peeled. Okay, I need to go eat a yogurt now. Thanks for coming, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye. Oh, have a good day, guys. Next week. Okay, bye.